The herb and garlic pull-apart bread is in your basic cookbook, and it's one that people seem to avoid because it looks tricky, but it's one of the easiest things out there. So my tip is I'm starting halfway through the recipe, see that little bar there that goes along as you make the recipe. I've skipped the entire making of the garlic and herb butter, and I'll show you why towards the end, but it's just a bit more complicated and makes a lot of mess when there is an easier way. So skip next all the way through to this part, which is 250 grams of lukewarm water. It's one of the easiest breads to make because you just add everything in at once. So you've got your water, yeast, that mixes around. I would reduce that by a lot because I've already put the water in warm. And then once you've done that, don't put the salt in first, that actually kills the yeast. I'm not sure why that's in that order, but putting the salt straight on the yeast is a mistake. Excuse my daughter crying in the background. So put your flour in first, then put in that salt. And yes, that is it's teaspoons, okay. Oil, and then mix it up, and then kneads for 2 minutes. That's it. The dough is so easy. And then I'll show you how to put it together. So now for my hack on the garlic and herb butter. Start with some garlic cloves. And I'm going to show you another trick with that too. These have got the skins on. And I'm going to put that on reverse. On speed 5, just for a very small amount of time. That was 2 seconds. You don't want them chopped up too much. And then you can just pick out the skins. Saves you peeling them. It comes off really, really cleanly. Hope that saves you some time, because it certainly has saved me much time. Okay, so that's just garlic now. And then add in all your herbs. So I've got parsley, basil and rosemary. Now they are probably a bit damp because I washed them from the garden. I might chop as well as dry herbs, but take it off reverse, just clear that number off. And then about speed 7 until it's chopped. Which doesn't take very long. So that will be our herbs and garlic. That's lovely. Now back to the dough. So I've been busy making other things, so this is absolutely ginormous, but that's okay. So we're going to roll that out into rectangle. Again, if you've got one of these bread mats, it makes the job so much easier. You don't need flour all over your bench. Makes the job quick and achievable even when you're busy. Right, that's a really nice dough. Very puffy. Okay, and instead of making that herb and garlic butter, I've just got some butter, straight butter. This way you can control how much you put on at the same time. It's a bit firm like what mine is. You can just let it sit for a minute. The day is warm enough, otherwise soften it in the microwave for a bit. Once you've got your butter on, then we're going to add your herb and garlic mixture. You can certainly put as much or as little as you want. I'll probably smooth these out with my fingers. Thanks, darling. Smooth that along. So the problem with making the herb and garlic butter first, the way the book says, is you're making it from scratch from cream, and it actually makes a giant amount, and you don't need that much. People don't know, and they put the whole lot on. It leaks all through the oven. And then another thing they often think is it's a little bit bland, so I'm going to tell you to be liberal with your salt on the dough as well. Be amazed how much salt's in those ones from the bakery. Okay, and that's it. Now to put it together, very, very quick. I've got a couple of bits of baking paper in here just to make sure it doesn't leak on the sides. So put them into a springform tin, and then with your spatula, chop up your dough. You never use a metal knife on these boards, it'll cut through the fiberglass, so you use a spatula. Great design by Thermomix. With this spatula being as hard as it is, means you can use it for things like this. If you find it difficult using this spatula from Thermomix, I did a video on how to use it. It's actually really great in your bowl. You just need a little bit of guidance. Well, I'll come in a second, darling. And then you just get a piece like this, and you do a bit of concertina with it, backwards and forwards, like that, and stand it up in your tin. And you keep doing that with all your bits. A bit of butter there. So really, there's not a lot to it. The dough only takes 2 minutes to knead. You're skipping the herb and garlic butter bit and just smearing some softened butter, herbs and salt. If you want to try cheese, you can, but what we find is it doesn't then pull apart very well because the cheese goes a little firm and acts more like a glue, whereas the butter keeps it obviously greased against itself, and when someone pulls a bit off, it comes off nicely. So there you go, fill up your tin, and then we'll let it rise for a few minutes till it's kind of jam-packed before we bake it.